Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
So, if you were to name yourself after the last meal you ate, what's your name going to be? See how spontaneous that response was. Next question. If you were to name yourself after the last place you went, what will your name be? We got the answer. Third question. If you were to name yourself after the last information you received, you deliberately sought, what will your name be? If you were thinking, I'll ask the last book you read. Answer. What will your name be? The last book you read. The things we allow ourselves to process are very important. And that's the reason why a lot of people do not deliberately read, because they are thinking what they need is not inside a book. But like the word on the street, that if you want to hide anything from a man of color, put it in it. And I will say it's not just a man of color. It is any man at all. Any man at all. Don't let anybody come and put anything that is not yours on you. Any man at all. And it begins with us. If it was targeted at the people of color, then let us also correct that mentality. And then we can move on to helping correct for the whole world. I am your teaching and learning advocate, Damilola Raphael. Super delighted to be here on another edition of your favorite Learning is Fun program, The Bookshelf, broadcasting live from the Western Spring Television studios. I believe you're keeping well and you're looking forward to today's topic, right? Yes, I also have been looking forward to it. I wish I could do some drama, but you know, when you are learning, you have to be you have to behave yourself somehow, but you can know how to deal with people somehow. We give our word that we will be doing out and about. Yes, there's been challenges, and that's why we keep pushing for you to not give up, because see, sometimes some of these things we are seeing is from experience. Our own experiences, other people's experience. But we are so excited, so delighted to be here with our out and about guy. Chijioke Odili is with us today, and he's going to be taking us out and about. We'll be starting from inside the studios before we move outside the studios. Chijioke, it's good to have you on the bookshelf again.
Thank you, Ma. I'm glad to be back.
You ran away.
No, I didn't.
You know, back in the day, my mom would say, you know, all this marching song for children moving from the assembly hall or assembly ground, as the case may be, to their classroom. And then Jala travel all over the world. And she said there is actually a song for it. But some people said it's actually, I'm gonna travel all over the world. I'm gonna travel all over the world. And then we had Chikomanda then do Ajala travel. There was somebody who actually did it. He did a tour, I think London to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Ajala
maybe.
travel, yes.
Yeah.
So, and he became very popular, married wives and all that. So, when I tell you to read now, you want me to tell you everything in how many minutes? Go and read. So we have our own Ajala Chijioke travel all over the world, and he's here with us in the studios. Welcome again.
Thank you so much.
How has it been going out and about under the sun and in the rain?
Out and about, it has been, let me first thank God for the opportunity. You know, there has been some challenges on the way, you know, it hasn't been easy, together with the fuel crisis and everything.
You are affected.
Yeah, going for stuff like that was challenging. But thank God we have been able to push on, and we should get better results.
Indeed. I hope you didn't experience fried brains. Okay, so there is this trend that's been on. Yes, in the book world, we also have trends. Very interesting trends, I should say, as well. And I dare say more interesting. Argue with your keypad. And the GWR.
Yeah.
First, what's GWR?
Okay, should I just explain the abbreviation?
Yes, please.
Okay, GWR means Guinness World Records.
Okay.
Should go further?
Please do.
Okay. The GWR is a British reference book that deals with all human achievements. It also goes beyond to natural spectacular things that happen around us, but mostly human achievements, and it's updated annually. Annually, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So it started from a book. You tell us how it started, though.
Oh, sure.
I'm hearing book, and I'm hearing this whole now natural, something you now do annual. How did it start? Let me not jump. How did it get started? How did GWR start?
Okay, GWR started when Sir Hugh Beaver, the then managing director of Guinness Breweries,
okay,
in United Kingdom. So he went for a shooting party with his close confidants and friends.
Okay.
And so at that shooting party, they argued about what's the fastest game bird in the world. Like the fastest, when it's about shooting stuff, these rich people, wealthy people, they
wealthy people. Continue.
They have a reserve where they shoot game animals. Yeah, like birds, guinea fowls, other game animals.
Okay.
So Sir Beaver argued with his friends, what's the fastest game bird on Earth,
Okay.
sorry. So they couldn't find any answer. So they opted to check out for any reference books.
Okay.
And still they couldn't find any answer. So that was the birth of Guinness World Records.
It started with a big man, according to Chijioke, a rich man. He was empty. He was on top.
Yeah, top.
He had friends, and they were trying to wind, just unwind, as it were.
Yeah.
It's a brewery. There's a way they will put it, they will say it in Yoruba, like, be noting it, yo. A brewery.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have fun.
Exactly.
He needed information. They couldn't get it.
That's it.
And he went all out to begin to research. Okay, so if we can't get it here, it will definitely be somewhere. And then it wasn't anywhere. And he hired the services of some journalists, two brothers actually.
Yeah, two brothers.
Wow. Just look at that process. How many times have you wanted to get an information about something? And that's, when I was talking about Ajala travel, don't think I didn't want to talk about it because I don't have the full gist. The truth is I do. The truth is I don't have time. The truth is I will not. Because if I tell you, I am not helping you. Go and learn it yourself. It's there is a way information jumps off of the pages, whether you're reading from a hard copy or you're reading a soft copy. There is a way that information jumps off of the page to you personally. So go and read it. Now, how often, going back to that question, have you tried to get an information and then you just, try to use your hand to check the surface, scratch, that's the word. You scratched on the surface and you just let it lie by. this has become an international thing, an annual thing. And one beautiful thing I also want to point out is the fact that I started with a book.
Yeah.
It was Guinness Book of Records. And then it's moved on. It's now become World Record. Don't underestimate books. So I'm so glad, I'm so proud, honestly, to be on this show. And it's, you know, I say sometimes I'm honored to be your uncle. It's an honor, it's a privilege I do not and will never take for granted. It exposed me to a lot of things. It's what's connected Chijioke and I. So it started with a book. And today people are jumping on it all over the world. I mean, different people have, we'll get into that, of course, in due course when we want to talk about fame and influence and all of that. So let's talk about who can participate, because Damilola now is saying everybody all over the world wants to jump on it. Who says I don't want to? Who can participate?
Well, participation is general. Any interested persons who would want to attempt a world record can participate. Both genders.
Irrespective of age.
Various nationalities.
Amazing.
Age. Yeah, just if you're just interested to attempt a world record, you can participate.
And are there categories?
Categories.
Yeah. Is there anything you could, you know, do? Is it specific? This is the only thing you could do, or it's, you know, just open? It's
open. Open to being challenged. Yeah, it's open.
So you can either create a record.
Yeah.
You can either set a record rather, or break
an existing one.
An existing record. Yeah. And it's moved from researching to allowing people become content creators. That's another thing I found out.
Yes, it's true. That's true.
And then they don't have to, the visionary behind this, it's outliving him. Really, this particular vision is outliving Sahib Giva. The visionary, the people working behind the scenes for GWR, don't have to spend as much if they were the ones to discover. Because I could be here now, you and I, and we're doing stuff, and then they don't know about it. It's only what they're exposed to. There is only so much they could do. So the fact that you're also allowed to become a content creator in these people's generation. Okay, so how about the rules, the guidelines? It is open, but I mean, there should still be some level of control, as it were. So what are the rules? Okay, so I want to participate. I want to jump on this challenge. I want to set this new record. I want to break the previous record. What are the guidelines?
Okay, I would first talk about the guidelines before I go to the rules.
Okay.
Okay. So the guidelines for Guinness World Records is it must be measurable. Measurable in what does it mean? What do I mean by being measurable? It has to be open to being challenged by another person. Can somebody else break this record you're trying to attempt? You know, it has to be easily challenged. Yeah. Is it the fastest? Is it the most tallest? Is it the biggest? Is it the longest? It has to be in measures.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
Something that can be quantified.
Quantified, yeah. So that's one thing about the guidelines.
That's why I think the time around it as well.
Yes,
also
exactly. The duration.
Okay.
Exactly. So it has to be, the major guideline for Guinness World Record is it has to be open to being challenged. Yeah. So so that's by that. So the rules of someone trying to like attempt a Guinness World Record.
Okay.
There are 5 rules.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 1 is if you want to attempt a Guinness World Record, you have to read the available information on their website. Because when you open their website, you see a lot of information about Guinness World Record. So you have to read the available information on the record section of Guinness World Records website. there you can see how to log in, how to register, do's and don'ts, you know.
Registration requirements.
Yeah, so that's number one.
Okay.
Yeah, so number two is you have to log in or register.
Okay.
That's number two rule.
Okay.
Log in or register. Yeah.
And I think I like that because it's not just, okay, so I've read this. What do you do with the information? Action. I like that.
Yeah. So after you have read the stuff, you now decide if you want to log in or register into their database. Yeah. So number three rule is after logging in, you see the number of records.
Okay.
Everything about Guinness World Records, about people that have attempted such record before, people that have broken such record in the past, you know. So there you now look for the records you are trying to attempt. So if you are trying to attempt a record and the record is active and it's open to be challenged, you see an apply now button on the website. So you click that and you see the records you want to attempt. But if that record has not been attempted by anybody before, you go to the bottom of the Guinness World Records website and you see apply for a new record button below. So there you click on the button and you try to bring out your own record you're trying to break. Yeah.
Wow.
So the fourth rule is you will now submit your application. But it's going to be an online application form sent to you after you have logged in or registered. So if you are trying to obtain a priority application, the guidelines will be sent to you in 5 working days.
Like what we call express. My Nigeria people.
If you're trying to apply for a priority application, the guidelines will be sent to you in 5 working days, but charges will be applied to that because it's going to be in short duration of time. So, but a standard application for the Guinness World Records begin in 12 weeks.
That's
or
3 months.
Longer if demand is much on that application. So 12 weeks or more. So that's a standard time for you to get your own guidelines. Yeah. So the fifth and the last rule is once your application is accepted, then they'll send you your guidelines and other steps will be, you know, passed across to you.
This is sounding like a whole lot of work, but then again, if you don't do it, sometimes nobody else will, and some other time, somebody else will. But there's just you. Whether nobody else does it, whether somebody else does it, there is always you. And you don't want to be looking back with, I could have done it, when somebody else has done it, or I should have done it. When you look back, find nobody else has done it. So just do it. Whatever it is, just do it. Whether it's breaking a record, setting a record, whether for publicity, whether for your own private consumption. Just do it. It's a lot of work. See, if there was no work, you like food, don't you? Okay, even if you don't like food, you eat it. Well, you have to eat to survive, right? And stay on this side of God's green earth. It took effort. It took effort. Even if it's all kind of machinery and equipment that was used, it still took somebody to operate those things. It still took those equipment some energy. It took somebody to deliver it. It took somebody to prepare it. And it takes you to put it in your mouth. It takes your mouth to chew on it. And then the process of digestion. It's a lot of work. But it gets done every day, twice, sometimes thrice. Some other people 4 times, 5 times. It gets done. Even if it's once, it still gets done. So no matter how much workload is in it, you keep eating, don't you? In the same way, do the work. And I'm not kidding. Do it. Whatever it is that's been assigned to you, do it. I'm looking at the time right now, and I would really want for us. Chijioke will be coming back. He does not need to promise me. I'm telling him, he's going to come back. I would want for us to talk about the benefits. Yeah, the benefits of getting involved, you know, in the Guinness World Records. I would also want for us to look at the roles of, having a network of supporters around you. Then we'd also look at some other person who have done this. Yeah. We are very close people. We know Chijioke he's going out and about. We know people too. We are blowing small.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Oh my goodness, it's really been an interesting conversation with you, Chijioke. Now, before you leave, I want for you will come back. I've already told you. This one, I'm not asking you. I want for you to just, your part in short on the show, your closing remarks for this episode of The Bookshelf.
I would like to say, whatever you know you can do it now. There is no time. And keep believing in yourself, keep pushing hard. The only way you can stop yourself is yourself. So my parting remark is keep believing, keep pushing.
There is no time. Somebody said no time to check time.
No time to check time.
Another person said no time to say no time. And I'm like, you already said no time. You said no time twice. Wow. Somebody said, don't just watch the clock. Do what it's doing. The clock keeps moving. Sometimes what you're doing begins to feel like it's monotonous. And then you start feeling like a broken record to yourself because you're repeating this thing. There's something called consistency. There's something called persistence. Sometimes it's dull and all that, but do it. Do it anyhow. Do it. Do it. I'll be back on another episode of The Bookshelf. Remember to learn a new language. That's our mandate for this new year on The Bookshelf. I'll see you some other time. Keep growing, keep learning, keep glowing. My name is Damilola Raphael. I'm saying adios, Dios los bendiga.